the MEC for Finance and Economic Development in Gauteng, that's Lebogang Maile, is giving a status update on, of course, the municipality and how the city of Joburg has been functioning, particularly when we look at the municipal finances. Looking at that, so much has been said about the city of Joburg and how it functions at local government level. I'm told he's already on the podium now. Let's take you there.
Accounting for 34% of the annual budget. Although aggregate expenditure remains below the 50% threshold at this stage, except for Rand West City local municipality at 68%, historical trends indicate that municipalities are likely to achieve at least 85% of budgeted spending by the end of the financial year. The following is the performance of individual grants in municipalities as of the 31st December 2025. Municipal infrastructure grant is 62%. All the municipalities have spent above the required 40%. Notable Lesedi is sitting at 89%. Integrated urban development grant, 52%. Mohali City is the only recipient of the grant, reporting 52% as of 31 December 2025. Water Services Infrastructure Grant is at 46%, and the average spending is 46%. Mohali City is the highest performing municipality with an average spending of 59%, and such a level of expenditure is highly commendable, whilst Mirafong Local and Lesedi performed below the required 40% at 39% and 32% respectively. Urban Settlement Development Grant, 23%. The USDG, as is commonly known, average spending is 23%, which is a grant for metropolitan municipalities. This low spending will likely affect service delivery negatively if acceleration plans on CAPEX spending are not developed and implemented. Neighborhood Development Partnership Grant, 32%. Overall expenditure as of 31 December 2025 is reported at an average of 34%. The spending is concerning and low. Integrated Electrification Program grant is sitting at 59%. The aggregated expenditure is satisfactory, and the municipalities are likely to spend their entire allocation by 30 June 2026. Public Transport Network grant is sitting at 21%. The reported average spending is 21% in the Public Transport Network grant, and is one of the largest capital grants received by metros. Yet, it is one of the worst performing grants. All the recipients of this grant are not performing well, as no municipality managed to spend above 40%. There is high possibility that the allocation will be reduced as per requirements of Division of Revenue, Section 17 and 18. The National Treasury has issued Circular 130, which was developed in collaboration with provincial treasuries and in line with the requirement of the MFMA. This circular confronts the significant infrastructure challenges that the country and provinces are currently facing, particularly the issue of aging infrastructure. Municipalities must immediately prioritize the renewal of existing infrastructure assets in their adjusted budget for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. Specifically, they are mandated to allocate 60% of their capital budget to the renewal of these assets and 40% new infrastructure projects. Moreover, the circular underscores the vital necessity of repairs and maintenance for infrastructure assets. Municipalities are required to budget at least 8% of their total infrastructure assets value for repairs and maintenance, ensuring that service delivery remains uninterrupted and effective for the communities in Gauteng. In addition, the Gauteng Provincial Treasury has issued a practice note regarding this matter in order to facilitate effective planning for infrastructure development and to ensure that all required activities are undertaken so that municipalities can optimize the use of allocated funds. In strengthening municipal finance management across Gauteng, we will intensify targeted support to municipalities through a strategic and developmental supply chain management approach. This will focus on improving procurement planning, accelerating capital expenditure and infrastructure delivery, and reducing unauthorized, irregular, fruitless and wasteful expenditure through strengthened preventative controls. These measures will enhance governance, promote ethical procurement, and ensure that municipal resources are utilized efficiently and transparently to improve service delivery outcomes. As at 31 December 2025, Gauteng municipalities reported an aggregate debtors balance of 165.7 billion. A significant portion of the total debt balance is related to households at 73.3%, commercial at 23.2%, and state organs at 3%. Gauteng municipalities are having difficulty putting credit control policies into practice, which leads to a poor collection rate and ultimately an inability to pay off debts when they become due. The Gauteng Provincial Government outstanding debt to municipalities amount to 2 billion as at the end of December 2025, following payment of 1.7 million against a total billed amount of 2.19 billion. The debt profile is largely concentrated within the three metropolitan municipalities, the city of Johannesburg, city of Tshwane, and the city of Ekurhuleni, which together account for the majority of the outstanding balance. The main drivers of the provincial debt are the Department of Infrastructure Development, accounting for 51% of the debt, followed by education at 33% and health at 12%. While progress has been made through targeted payments, the current debt levels remain significant and require sustained intervention. In collaboration with the Gauteng Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, we continue to engage municipalities through structured intergovernmental platforms, including the Debt Management Committee, to verify accounts, resolve historical discrepancies, and implement payment plans aligned to available cash flows. Priority is being given to stabilizing municipal finances, preventing service disruptions, and strengthening financial controls to avoid the accumulation of new debt. Gauteng municipalities have reported an aggregated creditors balance amounting to 37.9 billion as at 31 December 2025, which is a significant decrease from 53.2 billion reported in November 2025. The main contributor to this reduction was the city of Tshwane, which reported creditors of 5.7 billion compared to 18.3 billion reported in November 2025. The bulk of the aggregated creditors balance relates to bulk electricity, accounting for 53.7% of the total creditors, followed by trade creditors at 30%. In this period, three municipalities, namely the city of Ekurhuleni, Midvaal Local Municipality, Mogale City, were able to pay their suppliers within 30 days during this period. Sedibeng still has a balance of over 90 days. In 2023, the National Treasury granted approval to 5 municipalities in Gauteng to participate in the Eskom debt relief program. These municipalities are Emfuleni, Lesedi, Mogale, Rand West, and Mirafong City. The municipal debt relief is for a period of 36 months only, and it's a leverage on government's bigger proposals to a debt relief package for Eskom. At the municipalities, all the municipalities, 36 months will end in 2027. There are 14 conditions set out in the MFMA Circular 124, which these municipalities should comply with monthly to qualify for the write-off. These conditions are essentially aimed at restoring a set of basic minimum financial management best practice in municipalities, owing Eskom and change the municipal culture of not paying bulk suppliers and municipal and Eskom culture to not collect revenue. Rand West City was the first municipality to receive a write-off of 279.7 million from the ring-fenced debt of 839.7 million after complying with the conditions of the Eskom debt relief program, followed by Mfuleni and Mogale City, which were granted their first one-quarter write-off on the one-third write-off on the 16th of December 2024 and 20th of February 2025, amounting to 1.9 billion and 72.1 million respectively. All these municipalities are awaiting National Treasury's approval of their second write-off. Lesedi and Mirafong City completed the first cycle at the end of November 2024 and second cycle in November 2025. However, a final assessment has yet to be finalized by National Treasury to determine whether they qualify for the write-off or not. Mogale City is one of the best performing municipalities under the debt relief program, and the municipality has adopted a funded budget and continually paying its current Eskom account. Mfuleni local municipality signed a distribution agency agreement with Eskom and entered into a special purpose vehicle agreement with Rand Water Services, which plays a key role in debt management between the municipality and the two entities. Payment of suppliers within 30 days is not discretionary. It is a legal requirement in terms of Section 65, subsection 2, subsection E of the Municipal Finance Management Act. In enforcing the legal requirement that suppliers be paid within 30 days, government is also addressing outstanding debt owed to municipalities by public office bearers. As at 31 December 2025, municipal councillors and officials or workers collectively owed municipalities approximately 165.7 million, with the largest balances recorded in the city of Johannesburg at 74.8 million, the city of Tshwane 36.2 million, and the city of Ekurhuleni 22.9 million. These amounts are primarily attributable to municipal officials. Formal correspondence has been issued to municipalities to enforce recovery measures and ensure compliance by councillors and officials. In total, councillors in various municipalities in Gauteng owe municipalities an aggregated amount of 5.5 million. It must be noted that councillors who owe their respective municipalities, except for those in the city of Ekurhuleni, each have outstanding balances on their accounts ranging from 100,000 and above. In addition, officials owe their respective municipalities a total of 160.2 million as at 31 December 2025. In this regard, the city of Johannesburg is leading with 72 million owed by officials, followed by the city of Tshwane, city of Ekurhuleni, and Mfuleni with the debt of over 10 million each. In conclusion, the Gauteng Provincial Treasury continues to support and monitor the progress on municipal spending against the projections to meet service delivery objectives to communities. That is why, amongst other things, we have introduced the following initiatives. The department has appointed 10 municipal advisors through a municipal finance hands-on support program to provide technical hands-on support to selected municipalities in the province. Among some notable achievements due to the program is an improvement in the 2023-2024 audit outcomes such as reduced audit findings in most of our municipalities. The advisors will continue to work with municipal officials in improving their budgeting techniques with a view of reducing the number of municipalities tabling the underfunded budgets. In collaboration with the Gauteng Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, we established an intergovernmental structure known as the Debt Management Committee. Since the establishment of the DMC in 2017-2018 financial year, municipalities have received a cumulative total of 21.4 billion in payments from the Gauteng Provincial Government. The largest share of these payments has consistently been directed to the 3 metropolitan municipalities, reflecting both the scale of services rendered and historical account backlogs, with Mfuleni local municipality also receiving significant portion relative to other local municipalities. This track record demonstrates that whilst outstanding balances remain at the point in time, the DMC has been an effective platform for systematic debt reduction, account verification, and structured settlements, reinforcing the commitment to honor our obligations and supporting municipal financial sustainability. Thank you very much.
Thank you, MEC. We will now open a round or two for questions and public comments. I will start. Number 1, you, ma'am. Number 2, ma'am.
Must introduce themselves, the media houses they come from.
Number 3, number 4. So you've got to say the media house you're from and your name. Can I have the mic, please? Thank you. Media house and name.
From SABC News. And I just want to find out about this debt of unpaid bills. It's saying at 155.7 billion
Of what?
Unpaid bills. Unpaid bills. And you also have a 37.9 billion that's owed to creditors as of December 2025. So what are you going to do to stop the spiraling of the debt? Are these interventions that you introduced towards the end part of the way to stop the spiraling municipal debt? And secondly, you only spend a third of the 16.2 billion on your capital expenditure, capital budget. How worried are you about underspending when it comes to infrastructure projects within the province? And what interventions do you have in place for that?
Number 2.
Can I speak for you?
Yes, please.
Good morning, MEC. Abigail Pasaki from the Gauteng Times. You mentioned that there are 27 conditions in which the municipalities have to comply within. What are the repercussions there, or if they do not comply? Also, if the DMC is so progressive, what are your plan of action to ensure that the debt gets scraped off? Thank you.
Number 3. Mike, please.
Thank you very much, MC. Zola Sholana from Newsroom Africa. I've got a couple of questions. Firstly, on underperformance and accountability of municipalities. What do you think is the root cause of municipalities failing to spend beyond 40% of their grant? And also, maybe a summary of which municipalities are the worst performers and what corrective actions have been taken against those municipalities? And another question on the risk of reduced allocations because of failing to spend their grants as they should. What is the financial impact to the province should these reductions be implemented? Thank you.
Number 4, the last one.
Hi, MEC and the rest of the leadership, Rayton here from Netwerk 24. MEC, my first question would be around budgeting for municipalities. How involved is the provincial government in that process? I know in one of the engagements I had with the Premier, he said there's a need to reform because at municipal level, service delivery is lacking in Gauteng. So what's being done around that, and how involved are you in the budgeting process? And then in terms of cost cutting, I know like in Johannesburg, for example, 24% of the 89 billion rand is spent on salaries. Do you think there's a need to cut costs in a way so that this debt that you speak of is perhaps better service from existing budgets, and that it's not a full amount that you hope to collect, but it's actually part of the funded budget, and then you service and lower the debt in that way perhaps? And then the Commander-in-Chief of the EFF mentioned on Friday that they will not be supporting your budgets going forward. What's the implications of that political decision, MEC? Because that could definitely trickle down and cause a very problematic situation. Thank you so much.
MEC in the panel. Is the question you want to answer? Okay. No, thanks. Thanks for the questions. Starting with Yamo on the unpaid bills. What is owed to the municipalities and what the municipalities are owing. Obviously, if municipalities are not collecting, they will not be able to pay their creditors, especially the bulk suppliers like Eskom and Rainwater. So we want to take this opportunity to urge our communities and business and government departments to pay for the services that are rendered by the municipalities. That's one. But two, we know that there are instances where there are inaccurate bills from the municipalities. Hence, there are disputes sometimes. So we also want to urge municipalities to work on the credibility of their billing systems, because if they don't work on the credibility of their billing systems, some of these problems will persist. But thirdly, there is a correlation between the inability to pay and unaffordability by the consumers with the state of the economy, because some of the people are unemployed and can't afford to pay for their services. And that's why at all the times we have to endeavor to ensure that we improve our economy. It grows and it creates jobs so that people are able. So that is in the medium to long term. And I think sometime now in February in March, we will be unveiling our own economic plan of the Gauteng Provincial Government in terms of how we're dealing with this. So the issue of what municipalities are owed, and if you look at it, 73% is households, only 3% is government, and only 23% it's businesses. So we'll need those businesses to pay, because that 23% it's significant and it can help to deal with many other issues. So I hope that answers your question. The second question on the 1/3 that is only spent on infrastructure, it is of course concerning and worrying for us, because spending on infrastructure contributes as well towards growing the economy, towards stabilizing it, and towards creating jobs. But it also helps the municipalities to improve the quality of services that they offer, because some of this infrastructure spent is on water, electricity, infrastructure, for instance. So it is concerning for us, and we will be continuing to engage with the municipalities to improve on spending on this infrastructure. So Abigail,
The conditions we're talking is not 27, it's about 14. Yes. So I might have missed that, but on those 14, what it means is that if you don't respond positively as a municipality, you will not benefit from the debt recovery program as introduced by Treasury. And implications is that your debt is continuing to grow, and especially for the local municipalities, and it doesn't help you to improve in service delivery. Zola, I think there are several things that can contribute towards municipalities not spending, and maybe not spending at the rate they're supposed to, because as you have seen, they are spending, but not at the rate they're supposed to be spending. Hence the worries that they might underspend, especially in centered grants. If you look at the transport grant, for instance, which is the biggest, and you've got potholes, you've got some roads that are not in good condition, what it means is that there's no problem of money to a larger degree, especially if the money is not spent. So you can't say there's a shortage of money when you're not spending it. So there are several reasons, and one of them might be lack of proper planning, one, and two, it might be depending on municipality by municipality, because the municipalities are not the same. It might be shortage of adequate skills to help the municipality to be able to spend the money. But there might also be a problem of appointing wrong service providers who don't have the capacity. But it varies from project to project, and as I've said, there are several reasons. I think on the statement we do show you there in terms of how municipalities are spending. Their performance varies from grant to grant, so you can't say this is the worst performing or not. One municipality might be spending well on one grant, not spending well on another grant and all that. So it varies, and I think the detail on the statement should be able to help you make a determination. The reduction of budgets on municipalities has got a huge implication for service delivery, and that's why we want to make sure that municipalities spend their money and there's no municipality that returns money, because I think that should be seen as a crime against humanity, especially when you are facing huge problems of unemployment, of poverty, economy is not doing well. It can't be explainable why people can't spend resources. So we would not want to understand why people don't want to spend. We want to see them spending. Brayton, the municipality is involved, sorry, the province is involved because to answer this question, let me answer it this way. As you know, we have a unitary system of governance in the country, and even our distribution of resources emanates from that unitary character. The Division of Revenue Act directs on how money must be distributed, starting from national, provincial, and local. And then that's one important point to understand. But as you know, municipalities largely depends on the rates and taxes that they collect and other revenue sources. And they also have what they call IDP process. So in terms of the law, before they finalize their IDPs, the provincial government, through the Department of Cooperative Governance, must comment on the IDPs. And the IDPs is what is used for budgeting. Whether that process is as effective as it's supposed to be, it's another issue that we can discuss. But there is participation and interaction between the municipalities, province, and even national. In fact, at the national level, the minister has a forum called the Budget Forum. So in the Budget Forum, it's the provinces and organized local government through SALGA, and they participate in that process. So before the Minister of Finance presents his budget, he consults with us, with the municipalities, and with organized local government. Then we make a determination. So whatever you hear the minister presenting, it's a product of consultation by all the three spheres of government. It's a very robust process. It's not as easy because, as you know, everyone wants resources and everyone believes that they are underfunded. So it's a robust process. Yes, there must be not cost containment, but especially on the administration costs. We should strive to direct most of the resources towards service delivery. For instance, Gauteng government, our stance is clear. Currently, our budget, 40% goes to salaries and administrations. Am I right? No, 60%, yes. So 60%, yeah. So we would want to encourage municipalities as well to have a balanced ratio. Cities like Joburg, you know, there's been a history as well. When Mr. Mashaba was a mayor, you will know there were certain decisions taken which I think have also had an implication on ballooning their salary bill and all that. We can talk about that some other time. And then, you know, I thought this question you won't ask it because you will. So the EFF says they won't vote for the budget of the. Okay, the CIC of EFF says the MEC of Finance budget. So it's not my budget. I don't have a budget. So I just present it. And I expected that you'll ask this question. So I thought about how to respond about it. Of course, we want everyone's support for the budget. Of course, we want everyone's support who's in the legislature. That's the first thing. And we want to appreciate the support that all the parties have given, your EFF, MKP, and the parties that were in partnership with in the Provincial Government of Unity in the last 2 years. It has made our life a bit easier. But we are confident that we will be able to pass our budget. And we'll talk about this when we present the budget. I think on the 10th of March, we'll be presenting the budget. So I don't foresee a big problem in terms of passing the budget. And we will continue to engage with all parties, including the EFF, because you will know that they have reasons why they have taken that posture. And one of the reasons is what happened in Eguruleni, between them.
That's the Gauteng Finance and Economic Development MEC Lebogang Maile there, just in a nutshell reinforcing the province's focus on safeguarding critical infrastructure as service delivery challenges continue to affect communities. The MEC says departments as well as public entities are now required to prioritize maintenance and renewal, with 60% of capital budgets that have been allocated to refurbishing existing infrastructure and 40% those will be directed towards new projects. Of course, we leave it there for the Sunday installment of the agenda. We thank you so much for being with us.